Welcome back to one more episode of The Wall here on the Lab Video Game TV. You can also watch us in 25 countries across the Caribbean on Flow One. Download the official Flow Sports app to watch us on Flow on the go. Now, I'm back on the rock for a short time, and I have with me in studio the unstoppable, the merciless S6, that is Shotashi 6, Jamaican eSports bad boy. Now this cat here, he has been playing his role in the eSports community, playing his part in the Caribbean eSports community quite actively for as long as I know. Over a decade, this cat has been at it, actively at live esports events. If there are no live esports events, this cat is online kicking ass and taking names. Tell you something else, he's also decided to experiment, give his acting chops a go in the online web series called Tip the Scale along fellow esports star Hasari.
Look, Rachel, I can't do this with you right now. Please, just call Veronica for me. Please.
Yeah, this guy is busy. S6, thank you for stopping by, my brother from another mother. What's good?
Thank you.
As usual.
I mean, I've been doing my thing, not as busy as, the Valkyries, but being hanging in there. Lots of gaming, like you said, lots of events. I was just recently at the grand finals for JEI, their tournament. So I've been around the place, just even spectating, just just kind of networking with other gamers, esports players, and just seeing where the space is going,
So you actually participated in that esports event?
That event? No, because they had a bunch of fighting games there. I'll get to that in a bit because I'm gonna be there next year.
Oh, let me tell you something about this brother, right? Well, let me tell you guys something about this brother. Should you find yourself in, let's say, Call of Duty lobby, Apex Legends lobby, Halo lobby, even a Destiny lobby, my advice to you, bring your A game. Bring your A game. You see S6, Shotashi 6 in the lineup, I would advise you to bring your A game. Mm-hmm. So what have you been more actively playing now? Because I know you play all of these games, but what you more dealing with right now?
Right now, as in today?
Not really today, but right now, as in current times, what have you been grinding at?
Most recently I've been playing a lot of Apex. Apex Legends is one of those games where I was one of the very first players here to play that game, like when it came out in, I think, 2019.
Yeah. Same
day I played it, and then I just played it for 6 months and I got bored, and I never played it again. I was just on and off. But no, starting this year, early this year, I got back on it, and I just been addicted. Like it's been the best FPS on console to play. Before that, last year I was on like a 6-month stretch where we're just addicted to Valorant. Like I played Valorant straight for like 6 months, and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, FPS wise ever, because moving from controller to keyboard and mouse, it's insanely hard. But I got addicted, man, and safe to say, that game is the best FPS I've ever played.
Valorant.
Yeah, Valorant. They do everything right.
This is everything right. Well, if he says so, because this guy, he knows his first-person shooters. I've seen a lot of your clips. You submit several clips to freestyle on the Lab Video Game TV. So I see your carnage all the while, and I know you're really, really good at what you do. How do you determine though, because when I first met you, that was way back maybe in 2013, 2014. This cat was mean in the Call of Duty scene. That was his thing. And then, I know it was Destiny. And like I said, sometimes I see you dipping your toes in Halo. How do you determine which game? Which time? Is it a vibe?
Kind of that, but it's gonna be a kind of a bit of a hot take. It really depends on which game is pissing me off. Because it's Call of Duty, I did not have Modern Warfare 2 last year. Worst God ever. It just pissed me off. I didn't want to play. I was just miserable. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play Apex. And before that, it was, we're doing the Halo thing. A bunch of stuff happened with that Halo stuff. We weren't able to do what we wanted. Mostly because, Rocco, he went to work in Japan a few months after the game dropped. So because of that, our team was and then the game wasn't in a good state. So we all stopped. But me, I like to play a bunch of everything. So now and then I'll go back to Halo, get a couple clips to get off. Then I'm on Apex, and today is the MW3 beta, and I can say that game. I think I'm gonna compete in a game because it's like it looks like the best COD in like the last 5 years. You know, so
okay. Let me ask you 2 questions then. One,
yeah.
What is it about a game like, let's say you said Modern Warfare 2, it was pissing you off as one of the worst. What is it about it that irked you so much?
Number one is there's no dead silence as a perk in the game. So you have to wait until the dead silence charges like 2 minutes or 3, and then you can use like 10 seconds, and then everybody just running around like elephants. There's no way to hide your footsteps. The second thing is that you die in 2 bullets, literally. 2 bullets, right? And that's not a skill cap. I know Valorant is you die in a bullet or 2 in Val, but the thing with Val is a tac shooter. It's a tactical shooter. You're supposed to die in 2 bullets, whereas COD is kind of like an arcade shooter. It's 2 different challenges.
Well, when it comes to Call of Duty, when I used to play Call of Duty, because I parked Call of Duty since I think Black Ops 4 was the last one I played, or Modern Warfare 1 was the last one I played. I reviewed that one, but I stopped playing. But when I used to play Call of Duty, I always play hardcore because I hate that shit when you're shooting and it takes an entire clip to take a guy down. 2 shots, 1 shot. I always play hardcore for that reason alone. But I get what you're saying. As an esports player, I'm sure you have your preferences. And besides, I ain't pro. I just have my preferences just like you do. But next question. Talk to me about your team.
A Halo team?
Your Halo team. Because you said Rocco's left, so it kind of messed up the whole Halo thing. But talk to me about the team that you're currently a part of right now, regardless of what game it is that you guys specialize in.
I guess.
What's the name of the team?
Well, we're not on like an official team. We're all just like a bunch of friends that like play games together.
There was a team at one time.
There was a Halo team, right? Which it's still the same core group of guys. And like we played different games together, like whether that's Halo sometimes, whether it's just like 1 or 2 of us, or for Apex, you know, it's a 3v3 game. So me and Grim might play, or me and Elijah might play, or me and sometimes Bob might play, or Nico. So that we were all friends before Halo, and we just came together like, you know, the best of us just made a team on Halo. So we're still there, but we're just playing like a lot of different games. But officially, I'm not on like any eSports team or anything like that. So whenever, go ahead.
What, it's like you see the team disbanded then? No,
it's not. I would say it's more like Halo initially did such a bad job of being a good game when they was playing.
Okay.
We just kind of parked it. But no, I see like they're doing like a lot of things right. But I mean, if we were, go ahead.
So I'm sorry. So as a team, the only thing that you guys played was Halo. It's just a Halo team.
Yeah, it was our main thing. But when it fell off, they kind of more transitioned to Apex. So even though Rocco's in Japan, he still plays Apex with us on 250 thing. I don't know how, but he still plays with us. But I think I kind of want to like.
And Grim, that's Romano
Kelly, yeah.
Got you.
He's mostly Apex these days. I think he's gonna play MK1 as well.
Any plans of forming another team? Like, since that's just Halo, you gonna form an Apex team, a Valorant team, anything like that, or no?
I think the most likely one is Apex. The most likely one, because like we've all been grinding Apex. Like last season was not that challenging. We all got Masters last season, which is the second highest rank in the game. And this season we're going for Masters again. Rocco as well, from Japan on 250 ping. He somehow got the Apex Predator, which is the highest rank in the game, for a couple hours.
Okay, so he's more than just a Halo god, then he's pretty good at...
He's good on Apex. And I will say Apex is kind of... I think Apex takes more skill than Halo. Okay. Because in Halo, it's just, you gotta like hit your shots and like spawn awareness. But like with Apex, it's a bunch of like random timings, and it's just more random. So you kind of have to be more aware, and you at any given time you have to be able to kind of like go in your way of like a tough situation, you know. So
okay, well, talk to me about the grind. You mentioned the grind. So like, how do you stay sharp? Like, what's your training regimen? How do you actually continuously live up to your name? Do not miss. Shotashi 6 doesn't miss.
I mean, I try to, but I think it's really dependent on how long I play a game for.
Because sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I mean, I'm just thinking that the more you grow, it's the harder it is, unless you are 100% pro, where you're actually earning a living from it, and you know, okay, I can set aside a 9 to 5 and just do this pro, and this is all I do like an athlete. Yeah, technically you are an athlete, you're an e-athlete if you do that. But let's say you're not earning enough bread from eSports to sustain yourself. You're gonna have to work, and you're an adult, and you may even start develop a family or whatever. How is it that while you grow, you're still able to maintain sharpness?
I think it's reps, man, and I think it's your lifestyle, because a lot of people, like you say, you know, they start a family, they have a kid, like your priorities change.
Right.
Sometimes your job changes your priority as well, and when you have all of these things, life is happening, it's hard to consistently stay at the top.
Yeah.
For me, it's a case where, I mean, this for the longest time, like since 2013, it's been something that I can't see myself doing anything else. But at the same time, I have to be aware, you know, I know that, all right, at any given time, like I might lose a finger or my hands or something. So I need to make sure, pull it up.
Ain't gonna happen.
I need to make sure that like I have a job outside of this. So what I do, I try to, might sound weird, but like I'm always like watching esports related stuff. I'm always watching tournaments. I'm always watching a tournament. So whether that's for any game, FPS related, I'm always watching something. And I always try to, even if I'm not competing in any one of these games, if they're out of season, I try to play a game that has something related to shooting in it. For example, now I'm playing like a whole lot of Starfield, right?
Okay.
You know,
so
like,
if it's not even physically, it's in your mind. You're just always at it, exercising mentally and physically.
Exactly. So it's just always repping, you know, getting reps.
Well, yeah, repetition is the So that's how a thing becomes habitual and then becomes instinctual, I guess.
Because trust me, man, like as you say, like it's tough now, man. Like there's like a lot of young kids coming up that like they've had iPads or controllers in their hands since we were what, like, you know, like, because like you said, I've been doing this since 2013. All those kids have grown up now, and they're, whether it's in the United States or in Jamaica, there's some nasty kids out there, you know. So to be able to compete with those guys that are just like naturally just good, you have to make sure that you're putting in like more time somehow than they are when they're sleeping, if they even do sleep, and you're coming off your job or whatever. You have to play like an hour or so and then go to bed, or you know. And
at this point in your life, you still have that passion to actually put that extra effort into remain that sharp. Like obviously you go up against some of these kids that you're talking about.
Oh yes.
And how's it been? Like, I mean, okay, let's just be realistic. A man can't be number one forever. Mike Tyson got his ass whipped at some point. So
yeah, exactly.
So at this point, do you still is your passion level really still that high? Are you still that committed to putting in the extra work? Because the way you're describing it now sounds to me like you actually have to put in more work than you had to do in 2013 and 14 to keep up to keep your level high, and to these kids who are coming up who all they do, because they have all the time in the world.
Sure.
While you have a job now, and you may have a family, they have all the time in the world. So they're like, it's easier for them to remain sharp. Once homework is done or whatever and they're not grounded, they're at it. But like you're still committed enough to actually put in that extra effort to do that?
Oh yeah, because when you see how good these kids are, you know, you are, for example, I think the main one is this young kid named Skill. I've known him since 2020. Like I found him on Instagram. We were playing Call of Duty together, and he's insane. You know, like in terms of mechanical skill, he might be like not the best, obviously not the best ever, but currently I think FPS wise, he might be the most mechanically skilled FPS player in Jamaica.
Nice.
However, when I see a player like that, I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta like, you know, like at the end of the day, mechanical skill can only get you that far, especially when you're playing team-based games. I have to make sure that I know everything about any game that I'm playing so I can outsmart these players.
What do you call it? Technical skill? Mechanical versus what?
No, I mean, I think I still have it mechanically. Maybe not
what would
to
be
that
the
level.
other side from mechanical, and then what? What you're describing sounds technical, like you're a technician.
Not really. I think it's just like nerding out the game to a point where like you just know everything. Like I think it's just in-game IQ is how I would describe it, right? Okay. If somebody, for example, an Apex is
kind of like intellect, eh?
Yeah. So you have to raise your intellect now to where you're okay. If these players are like 100 mechanically, you have to be there like 85, 90, and then like your IQ pushes that to like 100. You know? So.
Pretty interesting. Well, what would be your advice then, even to your other young players, people watching right now and thinking to themselves, well, you know, I'm okay because I can go do some, you know, free for all, and I can play some team deathmatch with some randoms, and I'm okay, but I ain't at a certain level that I know I can actually go pro. What would be your advice, word of advice and inspiration to folks like that?
I would say honestly play more than one game, honestly, because for example somebody like me who, like you said, since 2013 I've been in like every single grand final there is in terms of LAN, and obviously I won in Halo, so like I don't think some might call those accolades like a bunch of second places. Like nobody has ever done that, like, you know.
That's what I'm talking about. You're consistent, brother.
Yeah, like having your average placing be second.
Average, there you go.
Like that's insane. So what I would say,
because to come first once and never come back again doesn't really count.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, what's your average is what really. I get what you're saying.
I would say to a lot of other players, just make sure you're not a one trick pony, because that's the thing, you know. Like a lot of people, they play only Call of Duty, they play only Apex, and when you see even the Apex players, like they're disgusting because they only play Apex. But if there's a COD tournament tomorrow, can you go compete? Can you win? If there's an Apex tournament, can you win? If there's a Halo tournament, Valorant, like you have to make sure that like you're good across all of these games to the point where like everyone knows you. You know, that's how you become undeniables. No matter what the game is, whether it's controller, keyboard, and mouse, you can transition and people can know that okay, this guy is going to be a top player in whichever game he plays. So to anybody like trying to compete in esports or anything else, just make sure you're not a one-trick pony. Just make sure you're always doing something, you know?
You heard it right here, guys. On the wall, on the Lab Video Game TV from the master himself. A wise man once said that if you put 10,000 hours into anything, you are a master. And this man has put in a whole lot more than 10,000 hours. So yes, I can clearly, safely say, I know it's gonna, you know, get some guys out there butt hurt, you know, but that's your problem. This guy is a master at esports, and you heard it here yourself from the man himself. S6 Shotashi 6 here on the Lab Video Game TV. This has been one more episode off the wall on the Lab Video Game TV. Remember, you can watch us in 25 countries across the Caribbean on Flow One. Remember to download the official Flow Sports app to watch us on Flow on the go. Season 10 is wrapping up and season 11 is already in production. So, you know, it's like I always say, I'm the Sage and our game is never over.